Welcome to the Thriveology of Living Mindfulness series. Hi, I'm Sandra Vesterstein. I'm a neuro-linguistic hypnotherapy coach, and I love guiding others to express their authentic self with inspiration and passion. I'd like to first share a poem with you before we begin our exercise. It's a poem called The Art of Listening by Jonathan Drain. I knew something of conversation, so I thought, until I listened to another. I knew something of talk, the sounds, the chatter. But to listen and to speak when moments call, that is far greater. Of conversations past, I no longer can remember, since the day I silent kept and listened to another. There opened up a life which had till then been merely shadow. At first the life it seemed another's, but when I was caught, and by the mirror, the face had changed, and it told me of another. Since the day I silent kept and listened to another. So as you may have guessed, this week we're exploring the art of mindful listening, a skill that when practiced and developed can truly enhance all of your relationships. Picture this. Remember a time when someone truly listened to you? Maybe you were going through a tough time, or it was a joyful experience. And when they really listened to you, I bet it felt really good. And now think of a time when you felt unheard, like you were talking to a brick wall. My guess, this didn't feel so great. We've all had those experiences. Maybe you felt diminished, devalued, or misunderstood. And that's the power of mindful listening in a nutshell. It's really about holding space for someone else to share their experience with total acceptance. When you are genuinely heard, connections flourish. And when you're not, it's like planting a garden in a bed of concrete. Let me explain the exercise because it's going to require you to find a partner that is willing to practice with you. Set aside at least 20 to 30 minutes of time. And have a place where you can do the exercise where it's quiet and you're comfortable. Go ahead and bring a notebook so that you can journal any insights from the exercise. So to set yourself up for success, I know some of you might do this on Zoom, and that's fine. And if you do it in person, sit with each other at a right angle so you can look at each other's face and yet you're not straight on. And start, whether you're in person or on Zoom, by taking 3 synchronized breaths to sync up with each other, which will allow you to relax and get the most out of this exercise. And once you've done that, then you're going to set your intention for this exercise. Maybe it's to listen with total acceptance, or maybe it's to speak from your heart. Choose the intention that resonates and feels good to you. Decide who wants to go first. One person shares something. It could be a challenge, it could be a dream, conversation that they had with someone that maybe didn't go well, or maybe it was just wonderful, or a random thought. And the listener is just to listen with an open heart and acceptance. Let go of the need to plan a comeback because you are there to truly listen. And reflect back what your partner has said and validate their experience, whether you agree with it or not. After your partner has shared their experience, as the listener, repeat back to them what they said using their words. Let go of the need to paraphrase or share your judgment or your insights. When we listen and reflect back, what a person has said, it's important to be heartfelt. So it's not just repeating the words that they used. It's to be in alignment with your emotions as well. Because when you're repeating words back, kind of like a robot, it comes off as such. So to avoid this, go ahead and rephrase what the person has said using their key words, and then follow up with a question. For instance, if someone mentions feeling judged by another person, instead of saying, you felt judged by the person, as you're reflecting back to them, you could say, it sounds like when you were interacting with this person, you felt judged. What was that experience like for you? Some people will make the mistake by paraphrasing, and they'll say, well, it sounds like you didn't feel liked by the other person. And that's not what the person said. So it's so important to use the person's words back to them. It makes them feel heard and understood. Now, as the listener, be brave and seek feedback. Ask your partner if they felt heard, and then switch roles. And once you've done that, chat about it. How did it feel to be truly heard? Did you have any revelations? Was it like your usual chats? Or was it a game changer? Was it different? When it's time to end the exercise, go ahead and take 3 synchronized breaths, just like you did when you started. Thank your partner for sharing this precious slice of connection. Practice throughout the day with your friends, with your family, maybe even the local barista at your coffee shop. And watch how it turns mundane talks into meaningful exchanges. By sprinkling mindfulness into your conversations, you're not just talking, you're connecting, understanding, and maybe even sparking a bit of magic. If you found this exercise useful, hit the like button and drop a comment. I'd love to hear about your experience. And subscribe to the Thriveology of Living channel if you haven't already done so. And as always, with love and blessings. And remember, the universe is listening too.